Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables. Today, I'm going to be doing a tag video that I've been wanting to do for a while, but with tags like this, I always worry, will people perceive this the wrong way? Will people get mad at me? Will people hate me? You know, questions. But nevertheless, we're going to do it. Today I'm doing the Contradictions Book Tag. That's right, we're going to answer some really controversial kind of topics. So let's get into it. So the first question is, love this genre, but I did not like this book. Okay, so I'm going to do two for this one because I love romance and I love thrillers. Those are like my most two read genres. So first recent romance letdown that really let me down is The Rewind by Alison Wynne Scotch. Is it considered romance? Yeah, it's got to be. It's about two characters. It's set in 1999, which is just a huge win for me. But it's set in 1999. It's about these two characters, Ezra and Frankie. I guess I still remember their names because I loathe them so much. But they fell in love in college, everything's going hunky-dory, and they broke up senior year and they were like, I'm never going to talk to you again. Now it's many years later, they're back at their old college stomping ground for a wedding of one of their mutual friends, and surprise, surprise, they run into each other. And then crazy things happen that night and they wake up the next morning in the bed together. They're both wearing wedding rings. They're like, crap, are we married? Like, what the heck? We have no clue what's going on. So they have to retrace their steps. It was horrible. I loathed it. Take that with a grain of salt. A lot of people on Goodreads love this book. I did not, because both the characters were straight up horrible. That's just my honest opinion. That's why we're here. It's not, you know what? Then I apologize for this because this is a very hard book tag. It's called the Controversial Book Tags. If I talk about any books that you love, I think that's amazing. I just didn't, and that's okay. And then for thrillers, I do have one for this. One that I really thought I was going to love, didn't. Runtime by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is about a book about a character who's an actress, gets a big break and to be starring in this like thriller horror movie, like, you know, as a lead. And the catch is she has to go like right now, and it's set in this really small town in Ireland in the middle of the woods, and like basically no one's there. And it had such a good setup, but it just fell flat on so many fronts. The big twist, not that great. She could have done so much more with this, but it was just not good. And I hated that because it sounded so intriguing. Like Catherine Ryan Howard wins for the author that has the most interesting ideas, but her execution a lot of time does not fall through or, you know, come through. You know what I'm saying? Step is I rarely read this genre, but I love this book. For that, I'm going to go with fantasy. I don't read a lot of fantasy anymore. 10 years ago, I was reading like nothing but young adult fantasy. Now, not a lot. So for this one, it's going to be kind of, you know, I don't know. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. I love this book. It might be my favorite book of the year. Loved it. This is very loose on the fantasy, I will say. It's more like family-esque. So am I cheating by this answer? Probably, but you know, it's okay. Either way, this is about a character named, I forget her name because I'm horrible. Well, it's just about the Montoyas, and they're all held together by their grandmother, Orquídea. And she passes away, but before that, she tells them all to come collect their inheritance. And so they go there, she passes away, and then the Montoyas start dying one by one, and they're thinking, is there a curse upon us? And so it kind of goes in there. It's got very magical realism a lot in this book. I loved it. It's definitely very fantasy based, but I don't read a lot of fantasy, so that's why I'm putting it in here. Number 3 is I love this trope, but I did not like this book. So what is a trope, really? It could really be anything you want. For this answer, I'm going to go with vampires. We all know I love vampires. There's some good vampire books I've read. There's some bad vampire books I've read. One of them being From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. Everyone raved about this book. They were like, this book's amazing. You know, Book Talk blew it up. Book Talk blows a lot of books up that I don't think, you know, anyway. Blood and Ash, I read it. It was number 1, way too long. Number 2, not that great. Just wasn't. I think I tried reading the second one. I was like, I can't do this. I want to say the first one's over 500 pages. Like, it was insanely long. So, yes, I love vampires. Buffy, we all know this. Angel, Spike, we get it. But I did not like this book. I don't think it lives up to the hype. I really don't. But that is just me. If you love it, I think that's awesome. This one is I hate this trope, but I love this book. So for this one, I was like, I don't really hate a lot of tropes. And then as I was filming literally another video today, I mentioned this book and I'm like, oh, and that is love triangles. I'm not a big fan of love triangles. I mean, the first love triangle I was really into was, let's be honest, Edward, Bella, and Jacob. I was like, this is the weirdest love triangle ever. It's not that weird, but I just, I'm an Edward girl for life, okay? I said it. I blame Angel. I need to shut up. Either way, One True Loves is literally about a love triangle because it follows a character named Emma who marries her high school boyfriend named Jesse, and they escape their small town together. She becomes a journalist. He becomes like a production assistant on nature documentaries, and then on their 1-year wedding anniversary, he gets a job to go out on this like really crazy island, and so he goes, and then Emma gets a call that his helicopter crashed and they can't find Jesse, so he's presumed dead. Obviously, she's very heartbroken and grief-stricken, so she goes back home to her very small town in Massachusetts, the one that she was trying to escape all of those years, and falls in love with the town again and kind of just has to rebuild her life. There she meets a guy from her past. I believe his name is Sam, and they fall in love. They get engaged. It's going really good. Emma's like, I have a future now. Things are happening, and then she gets a call. Surprise, surprise, Jesse's been found. He's alive. He's been alive all these years. He was on an island, and so he's coming home. And so Emma has to make this decision of like, do I pick the husband that I presume was dead that I still love, or the man that I fell in love with after? It's a very interesting book. Like, it is crazy, but this love triangle is one that's going to really have you battling out. Like, you're going to be like, I don't know what the right choice is. Is there a right choice? I hate love triangles, but I love this book. I love this author, but I didn't like this book. This could be any author, really. I mean, we all have favorite authors, and is every one of their books going to make us insanely happy? No, that's just how it goes. There's a lot of favorite authors that I love, that the majority of their books I love, but they've written a few that I have not loved, like Riley Sager, Christina Lauren, like a lot of other authors. So I'm going to go let's go with Christina Lauren, because I do enjoy the majority of their books. But the one that I did not like at all, my least favorite of theirs, is Twice in a Blue Moon. Loathe that. It's a second chance romance. It was not good. That's all I'm going to say about it. I did not like it. Ugh. We want to go into the thriller genre. Riley Sager, like I said, I really enjoyed the majority of his books, but his latest ones, The House Across the Lake, oh, easily my least favorite book by his. I was so let down by it. I don't think I've read, or like one of my friends on BookTube has liked it, so I know I'm not alone in that, but I love those authors, but those books just did not do it for me. Then I previously disliked a book by this author, but I loved this book. For this one, this could be another great, like a lot of authors, but the one I thought about in particular was Emily Henry. Because years before Emily Henry, she's really known now for a lot of really great adult romances, which I love, but she was known for kind of young adult, kind of sci-fi, speculative, magical realism books. And one book in particular that I read by her, I think it was called The Love That Split the World. I hated it. I really did. I did not like that book. A lot of people like it. I did not. So then fast forward to many years later, I get this in the mail as an ARC, and I still have this ARC. And I was like, oh, Beach Read by Emily Henry. And I was like, where have I heard this author from? And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I really did not enjoy her other book, but this one sounded so interesting. And I'm so glad I read it because I loved it. I love her romance books. I haven't read one of hers that I did not like, but it just goes to show you, sometimes an author can completely change genres and you'll fall in love with the book. And that is that case for this. Like, I love her adult romance books. Do not like her young adult kind of sci-fi magical realism books at all. I love this cover, but I didn't like this book. And this one was hard for me. I couldn't really answer this because honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many books where I love the cover, like, but I did not like the book. Malice House by Megan Shepherd, a recent read that I was really hoping you'll love. Love the cover, very intriguing and cool. Despise the book. What's another one that I did not like at all? Hide by Kirsten White. I thought this was such a cool cover because it's got like a Ferris wheel because it's set in an abandoned amusement park and it just looks really creepy. It's a cool cover, right? Like when you hold it up, it's really cool. Even on the inside, it's got like the actual map and stuff. But, oh, this book was so bad. I hated it. I did not hate it. I don't want to say I hated it. But it was a whole book of 230 pages. That's right. That's how short this book is. Of nothing. It was a horror book. It's not really a horror book at all. And that comes from me, a person that is scared of literally everything. I love this cover. Did not like this book. So I guess there's your two answers right there for you. I didn't like this cover, but I loved this book. Okay, I'm not finding one that I really like don't like the cover of. I'm looking at, I mean, there's some covers that I don't really like 100%, but I'm not like, I don't like that cover at all. I can't, now I think I'm at the official beginning of the year of this year on my Goodreads, and I still can't find one that I like really like. That I really don't like, I shall say. This one I'm gonna have to like not answer, because I feel like covers have gotten a lot better nowadays. If you had asked me this a few years ago, I would have an easy answer, but now I don't have it. That was the Contradictions Book Tag. Did I answer all the questions? I think I did. Maybe this was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really hard, and a lot of you guys will not like me for these answers, and that might still be true. If so, I'm sorry. I hope you can still like me. We can still be friends, I promise. But either way, I would love to know your answer to this question. Do we have the same ones? Do you hate me now? I would love to know. Oh my gosh, I need to stop filming. I'm tired. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.